Hey, you guys. I'm so glad you're here with me today. When you hear a nice picture, you must have a great camera. You've probably had to smile and nod just to keep your eyes from rolling back. Let's break down why this statement is as bonkers as telling a baker, your cakes are amazing. You must have magical pans. Hey there, Lens Legends. Welcome to another episode of the Portrait Profit Show, where we focus on the business side of photography. I'm your host, Jim Landers, your guide on the business side, and it's my mission to uplift portrait photographers to make a great income doing what they love. Each week on the Portrait Profit Show, you get tips and systems on the business side of photography designed to help you gain a mastery over marketing and sales, reducing the struggles that most photographers face so you can finally get what you deserve. This show's for photographers who have something to learn on the business side. So if that's you, you are in the right place. Welcome to the Portrait Profit Show. The Portrait Profit Show is brought to you by Digital Pro Lab and Landers Photography School. For Digital Pro Lab, Amanda and her wonderful, amazing team, let me put that up in a different way. There we go. Are here to, she hires great people. And you see that in just how they do what it is that they do. So when you work there, you feel like they are holding your hand, like they're standing there with you. They have their arm around you. And the work, oh my goodness, these guys are career people. The prints that they make, the different things that they have in addition to prints are fantastic. They're made by people who love what they do. If you want to work with a lab that makes you look like a hero to your clients, then you're going to digitalprolab.com. So go to digitalprolab.com right now and see the difference that Amanda and her team are making for photographers. And of course, this show is sponsored by Landers Photography School. This is my company, and this is where I am teaching the photography side and the business side. So if you feel like you've got a little something to learn on either with either category, well, reach out to me at jim@landersphotographyschool.com. I'll also put up this short little message here for a free assessment of your situation. And it's you can see you can do a screenshot of this, but it's calendly.com/photo school/15 MIN, 15 short for minutes, 15 min MIN. Reach out to me and we'll see what it takes to get to your goals. I want to encourage you to make comments and ask questions throughout the discussion. I want you to go to the comment section right now and enter in #live. That causes me to know that you're watching us live either on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn or YouTube. We're simulcast to 8 different places. For those watching the replay, we just enter in hashtag replay, letting me know you're watching the replay. I also want to request that you share the Portrait Profits show. That's how people know about this. We don't charge anything for it. So the thing that we're charging is you clicking the share button to let other people know that this exists. And I sure appreciate you guys doing that. I want you to imagine something. You know what? Before I do that, up in the top right corner, right up here, that is a QR code to get today's handout. Now, I do those manually, so it'll be after the show. But there's a lot of good stuff you're probably going to want. So use your cell phone and get that handout. It's only $10. So, and I will change that out throughout the show, so that's all not always going to be there. Imagine this: you enter a bakery and you see a cake that looks amazing. You compliment the baker by saying, "Your oven must be exceptional." What? The baker, suppressing a smile, responds, "Well, actually, it's my extensive training, my late night baking sessions, and occasional challenges that have resulted in this amazing cake." It's not the oven, it's the baker. Now imagine you're admiring a finely crafted table. The carpenter proudly stands there with a smile, only to hear you exclaim, "Your hammer must be Mjolnir." For those of you who don't know, Mjolnir is the name of Thor's hammer. That carpenter, just like the baker, knows that while tools are essential, it's the skill behind them that brings magic to life. And let's not forget our painter pals. Gazing at a masterpiece, would you honestly say, "I love your work. You must have great brushes"? Of course not, because you recognize the artist's vision, technique, and talent. Photographers, we face an absurdity. Our cameras, lenses, filters, tripods, lens hoods, flashes, etc., they're all tools, just like a baker's oven, a carpenter's hammer, or a painter's brushes. The camera doesn't decide composition, lighting, or the perfect moment to press that shutter button. It's the photographer who sees the world through a unique lens, bringing moments to life, creating images that last beyond our lifetime. Consider this: if good photographs were simply the result of owning a nice camera, wouldn't everyone be a great photographer? It's not about the camera, it's about the person behind the camera. It's their eye for detail, their passion, their dedication, their understanding of light and shadow, and their ability to capture emotion and tell a story through a single image. You know, in this industry, where every client walks around with our tool, the camera, in their pocket or their purse, the great camera comment, well, just hits differently. It's not about defending what we do, it's about communicating our value in a world where everyone thinks they are a photographer because they've got a cell phone camera and Instagram gave them filters. When when a client says nice camera, they're giving us a perfect opening to share the magic behind what we do. It's our chance to bring them into our world, to show them the artistry of capturing personalities, the the choreography of posing groups, the business mastery that delivers consistent, exceptional results. So we're going to explore how to turn this common misconception of "you must have a great camera" into an opportunity to demonstrate your value. And by the end of this show, this episode today, number 203, you will not only have some witty responses in your back pocket, but you'll also understand how to use this moment to educate your clients about the value of professional portrait photography. And for those of you watching who've built successful businesses by combining your creative vision with your technical expertise, this episode will give you even more ways to showcase your professional value. We're talking about turning a simple comment into an opportunity to educate your clients and cause them to value you more than ever. Yep, the camera is a tool. And while having a good tool is important, it will always be the vision, creativity, and expertise of the photographer that turns an ordinary moment, an ordinary environment, maybe an ordinary person, into an extraordinary image. You wonderful creatives already know it is not just the gear. It's the genius behind it that and that magic lies within you. So here's what's coming up in today's episode. The real business impact of this misconception and what it means for your bottom line. A collection of responses tailored for different client situations from humorous, silly, sarcastic to educational, and specific strategies to transform these moments into opportunities to showcase your true value. And one more thing to proven ways to use these conversations to strengthen your client relationships and boost your business. If that sounds interesting to you, will you go over to the comment section and just tell me? You can just write simple as yes, or give it to me, or let's have it. Let's go. Tell me in the comments. Give me at least a yes in the comments. I can see quite a few already have. By the way, if you haven't already, please enter in hashtag live, letting me know that you're here watching this show live. Yeah, that's true. Um, Shout out to just a handful of so hey, Amber and let's see, I see Monica and I see Ime and Robin and Roland and a whole bunch more. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. I want to remind you guys that you can get today's handout, and let me put that on the screen as well. Let's see. I'll put that going across the screen, just kind of moving there. Up in the top right is a QR code that you can just use your your cell phone's camera to go to that link directly, or you can type it in yourself if you want to by using the URL that's going across the screen right now. Let me put that as a static also. There's the static version of it. And I'll turn off the motion one for now. So do a screenshot of that and go to it or use the QR code. QR code's easy. That's the one I use. All right. By the way, the handout, we do a handout for every one of these shows. And so if you would like today's handout with everything in it of what you'll be hearing today, plus more oftentimes, it's just $10 and I send it to your email as a PDF file so you can read it real easily. Chapter 1. Let's arm you with several responses for most any situation, most any client type. Now, depending on your relationship with the client, some of these may be inappropriate, but I know that you will find these to be fun. Some of them are serious, but the first ones are somewhat sarcastic. So I think you'll enjoy them. Think of these as your utility belt of comebacks because sometimes you need to be funny. Sometimes you need to be educational. And sometimes you need to throw in just a touch of sarcasm, which some of you I know are really good at. So here is what someone might say and your response. So they're going to say something along the lines of, nice picture. You must have a great camera. Yep. I just pointed at stuff and voila, art happens. Here's another. Totally. I just set it to award-winning mode and I hit the button. Yes. Love that award-winning mode. Here's another. You caught me. But what you don't know is it also does my taxes. All right, here's another one. It is great. It even comes with a photographer to choose the best settings and press the button at just the right time. How you like this one? I wonder if anyone ever told Hemingway. He must have had a great typewriter. Here's another one. Oh, yeah, it is great. Too bad it doesn't give me a massage after a long session. Need some more? It is. I just wish it could stop me from tripping over my light stands. Here's another. It's a great camera, but it hasn't figured out how to call my wife and let her know that I'll be late. How about this? Honestly, I think it's just as exhausted as I am after a full day of photography. Here's another one. If only it came with a setting for when I have a creative block. Hmm. You know what? Let's take that sassy and sarcastic up a notch. How about this one? Yeah, and Shakespeare must have had a gold-plated quill, right? All right. How about, oh, absolutely. I just sit back while the camera does all the work. Here's another one. Yep. And my running shoes win all the races for me. Ready for some more? Oh, I do. And if you buy this exact camera, your photographs will look exactly like mine. Here's another comeback. Exactly. Because it's the hammer that builds the house while the carpenter sits back and sips tea. You know, the goal isn't to just have a clever response. It's fun. But the goal really is to open the door to a deeper conversation about value. I do think you need to pick the approach that feels authentic to you and leads naturally into showcasing your expertise. So let me give you a couple that are more graceful and have an attitude of gratitude. So, how about this one for nice picture? You must have a great camera. Well, the camera helps, but it's the 15 years of practice that is the true magic. How about this one? Thank you. I've spent years learning how to see the world differently, and I am glad it shows. Here's another. I appreciate that. The camera is just a tool, it's the heart and the skill that is behind the camera that matters. Here's another approach. Thank you so much. It's not just the camera, though. I put a lot of myself into every photograph. Maybe this one would work better for you. I'm so glad you like it. It's the story I wanted to tell, and that means a lot. How about this one? Thank you. Photography is my passion, and I'm grateful to have tools that help me create. So here's what you want to do. You guys, you want to choose your response based on your brand personality, the client's personality, the situation, your relationship with the client, the business opportunity that's at hand. Let me give you a quick pro tip. Practice these responses. Choose the one or two or three or that you like the best, or create your own, of course. But practice these until they feel natural. The best comeback is the one you can deliver with perfect timing and genuine charm. Guys, if you like what you're hearing right now, will you do me a favor and click the like button or click the love button? Let me know that this stuff is funny or it's good or it's helpful because I'm going to move into some stuff you might not have thought of before. Maybe you haven't thought of the stuff I've already shared with you before. But here's a different take. Chapter 2. Understanding the business impact. Let's talk about what this great camera myth really cost you as a business owner. This may be fun, this may be silly, it is. But it's also costing you money and it's costing other photographers money. And so if you can do your part in educating clients, then we have an advantage here. Because when clients attribute your work to your gear, they aren't just making a casual comment. What they're doing is revealing a fundamental misunderstanding of your value. And that misunderstanding, it hits your bottom line harder than your urge to do the moves when you hear YMCA. Yeah, think about it. When a client believes it's just the camera, they're mentally reducing your expertise to the cost of equipment, the amount you spent on gas, and maybe any other expenses that they thought of that you might have. And some of you photographers do that too. You know, suddenly, when you do that or when they do that, your years of experience, your artistic vision, your problem solving skills, and your ability to make Aunt Martha look amazing, even though she insists on wearing that neon windbreaker from 1987, all of that gets compressed into, well, if I had that camera, I could do that. Here's what your clients are paying for: your ability to handle any lighting situation, whether it's harsh midday sun, fluorescent office horror, or one that one reception venue that thinks mood lighting is trying to shoot in a cave. Your people skills is another. Making the shy person comfortable, the overconfident person natural, the crying toddler laugh, and sometimes all in one group shot. How about your technical mastery? Understanding not just which button to press, but why, when, and how to press it to create a specific emotional impact. You're also doing something that is seen by some, but not by all. It's your artistic vision, seeing possibilities in locations that clients walk past every day, turning the ordinary into extraordinary. How about your business acumen? Running a professional operation that delivers consistent results, manages expectations, and turns first time clients into lifelong relationships. Let's put this into perspective with a real business scenario. I want you to picture a potential client comparing photographers for their family portrait that they want to do. Let's say they're looking at three different options. One, the natural light photographer who on their website comments that they don't use flash because it produces harsh, unnatural looking light. Yeah. Um, and maybe they've got just a basic camera and they charge something low, like $200. Also, they're looking at you. They're looking at the professional with the great equipment and the expertise to use it at $1,800. $1,800 versus 200. Okay, here's the third person they're looking at. Their cousin who just got the same camera that you have, who'll do it for free. That scenario is not uh, unreal. It's something that every one of you has faced. You have faced the family friend or relative who has a camera who'll do it for nothing or for very cheap. You have the person who's probably relatively new charging some ridiculously low amount that will never cause them to be able to reach profitability. And then there's you charging an amount that actually gives you potential to make a profit. That's what they're choosing from. If they were to believe that it's just the camera and that a photographer is a photographer, guess what happens to your perceived value? It's not about losing the business. It's about the long-term impact on your market position and that of other photographers. When clients understand that they're investing in expertise rather than equipment, that $1,800 becomes an investment in results rather than an expensive extra that they don't really need. This is why that great camera myth isn't just a minor annoyance. It's actually a clear signal that we need to shift the conversation. It's an opportunity to educate clients about the real value that they're getting and why professional photography is an investment in expertise, not access to good equipment. I want you to remember this. Every time a client comments on your camera, they're giving you something. They're giving you an opening to demonstrate your value. Don't let it pass. They're literally handing you the key to explain why professional photography is worth every penny. Every one of us should pay attention to this. Every one of us should think this through and have a proper response. You using the tool of a camera aren't just capturing images. I know, I'm preaching to the choir. But you don't know how to explain that, a lot of you, to clients. What you're doing as a photographer, you're capturing moments, emotions, and memories, all of which that will outlast all of us. I want you to think of this in a different way. If cameras were the secret to great photographs, then security cameras would be would be winning awards in photography. But they're not because they're missing the most important component, you, your vision, your expertise, your ability to see the extraordinary in the ordinary and capture it in a way that moves people. Your camera is just one tool in the photography toolbox. Of course, it's a tool that has a lot of tools. And just like a master chef's kitchen or a surgeon's operating room, it's not just the tools that create the magic, it's the professional wielding them. If this is resonating with you today, will you tell me? Put yes in the comments, or this is good, or if there's some point that you heard that you liked, share that with me. If you're thinking of something else that you haven't heard yet, share that with me. Click that like button, click that love button. Let's talk about alignment with branding and client experience. You're building something that's uniquely yours, whether it's a unique gift, your packaging, your presentation, the way you conduct client interactions. These help to reinforce your brand and create a memorable experience for your clients. So you are crafting, you are creating, you know that this comment or something like it is coming. So you're creating a response to it. And it's more than just the response, it's what is behind it, which I'm sharing with you today. By the way, just a reminder, up in the top right corner, right up here, use it's a QR code so that you can get this handout from today. And so that's what's there. Do a screenshot because I'm about to change that out, and it will become my logo, the show logo here in just a moment. There it goes. By the way, if you need help with any of the things that I'm talking about today, my private coaching sessions can help you choose and implement the right tools for your business so that you know what you're supposed to use, when you're supposed to use it. And if you would like a free, I'll give you a 15-minute session private and it won't cost you anything. I want you to use, I'm going to put this on the screen. I want you to use, where is that? Oh, there it is. It was just down a little bit. And use that QR, or excuse me, that URL right there that's on the screen right now. Maybe you have to do a screenshot, but you'll have to type it in to do that. Uh, in fact, let me put that in the comments. It doesn't show up in every place. I don't know why it's inconsistent that way, but I'll put that back in, and I'll put this in the comments. And on some of the places that you're watching from, this will show up, and in other places it won't. If it does, you can click on the link. But that's on. It's showing on both. We're going to YouTube, two YouTube channels. It's showing up on both of those. Landers Photography School Facebook group and the Portrait Profits page. It looks like it's on those. All right. Um, hey Juan. Hey David. And let's see. All right, so take that back off and move on to chapter 3. I want to talk about something that might just blow your clients' minds. It's the fact that your camera is the possibly least interesting tool in your professional photographer toolbox. Let's break down the 3 real tools or most important tools behind a professional portrait photographer. The first is your eyes. The ability to spot the microsecond when your client's camera smile turns genuine. You know what I'm talking about. The second is, or the next part of this is the vision to see how that ugly concrete wall could actually be a perfect background. The instinct to notice when your client's collar is doing that weird flippy thing and you're fixing it. The second of 3, your brain. That knowledge bank of poses that works for every body type. That quick math of exposure settings that becomes second nature. You're not even thinking about it. Kind of like when you're driving, you're not thinking about the turn signal. You're not thinking about talking to the person next to you. You're not thinking about changing the radio station. You're not worried about much of anything. You are just driving because it's become normal to you. Same way with photography. You're not really thinking about it because you know what you're supposed to do. The psychology degree that you never got, but somehow earned through your years of client interactions. The problem-solving supercomputer that can handle everything from wardrobe malfunctions to weather changes. And the third of 3, your mouth. Arguably the most powerful tool in your toolbox is your ability to communicate. The voice that can make a nervous client comfortable. The words that can turn a crying child into a laughing one. The professional tone that can handle even the most, let's say, particular clients. The business acumen to communicate your value without sounding defensive. When clients understand the complexity of what we do, they start seeing our camera as it really is, just one of the many tools that you use. I mean, it's like focusing on a surgeon's scalpel while ignoring their years of training, steady hands, and the ability to make crucial decisions under pressure. You know what? Let's get practical with this. Here's how this understanding transforms your business conversations. So instead of when someone says nice picture, you must have a great camera. Instead of saying something like, "Yes, this camera helps me to make great photographs." Try, you know what's really exciting? Let me show you how I can use all these tools together to create something unique for each of my clients. When a client comments about your gear, use it as an opening. The camera is like my paintbrush, but the real magic happens when I combine it with proper lighting, an understanding of posing, and the ability to evoke genuine emotions and expressions. I want you to think about a symphony conductor because many use a baton. So that's the symphony conductor I want you to picture in your mind. Would anyone come up to the conductor afterwards and say, "Wow, that was a wonderful concert. You must have a great baton"? No, no one does that because you understand the magic comes from their ability to bring in all the elements together into something beautiful. Let me tell you about your secret weapon as a professional photographer. The truth is, your most powerful tool isn't even something you can hold in your hands. It's your ability to read a room and adapt your approach accordingly. It's your ability to turn any environment into a studio, your ability to make split second creative decisions, handle unexpected challenges with grace, create an experience that transforms your clients into ambassadors for your brand. I can't stress this point enough. When someone compliments your camera, they are admiring the results of your expertise. They just need your help in knowing how to express it. So that's your cue to help them understand the full picture. When clients understand that your toolbox extends far beyond your camera, they start choosing based on expertise, based on results. That's when price resistance melts away. That's how those photographers that have those seemingly high prices aren't chasing customers away with those prices because price resistance melts away and value based decisions take over. A hammer doesn't build a house, a skilled carpenter does. Your camera doesn't create portraits, you do. And when clients truly understand this, they stop comparing and start asking for your availability. By the way, if you haven't already, enter in hashtag live, letting me know you're watching live right now. And if you like what you're hearing, click that like button or that love button, whichever is more appropriate. And as we go along, please share your thoughts and comments, uh, questions in the comments section. I see a lot of you have already. Glad you're here. Hey, Carl. Hey, Ken. Um, so, chapter 4, let's talk about the art of turning that nice camera comment into a client education opportunity without sounding like you're giving a TED talk on why I'm so amazing. Make it about them. Instead of defending your expertise, showcase it throughout their experience, the entire experience with you. For instance, when meeting potential clients, you might say, "Want to see something cool?" And you show them two similar images, but they have different emotional impacts. Let them notice the artistry themselves. Ask, "What catches your eye about this image?" You might want to consider shifting the focus to their desired outcome. What kind of feeling are you hoping to convey? During the session, you might want to show them the back of your camera, or maybe you're connected to a screen if you're in a studio. You may say something like, "Let me show you how this angle will be amazing for your or for you," whatever, fill in the blank, whatever's important to them. You may say, "Do you see how this lighting makes that just highlights your beautiful eyes?" Now, be careful with that one. You may just say, "Highlight your eyes." Yeah, because they may think it, you do what is best for your client. How about this little adjustment makes such a difference? Take a look. Those aha moments sell your value. These common situations are turned into educational opportunities. A client might say, "My phone takes pretty good pictures too." You might say, "Doesn't it? Phone cameras are pretty incredible. You know what's fun? Let me show you the difference between a phone image and what we are about to create." You could, if you're doing if you're in a studio, you could just photograph take your cell phone or theirs and photograph this environment, and then yours with your lighting and everything else in it, demonstrating a dramatic difference, including posing, including lighting, including expression. There's another scenario. A client might say, "These are amazing. Your camera must be really good." And so you might say, "Thank you. You know what really made this image special? It was the way you relaxed and showed that genuine smile when we started talking about," and you bring up some personal detail that you remembered from that portrait session. There's some business building moments throughout this as well. So these education opportunities aren't just about the current client, they're about building your brand. A client who understands your value becomes a more effective ambassador for your business. People do talk about you, not as much as you'd like. And I am talking about a positive way. So if you thought that meant in a negative way, no, I'm talking about those who share what it is you do because they think it's pretty darn incredible. Educated clients make better decisions about your services, your products, your packages. Telling them what you want, telling them what you want them to know, that's good. But I want you to also consider asking things like, "What made you choose professional photography for this occasion?" Or, "What's the most important thing you want these images to convey?" Something I ask every time, because I specialize in portraits as something that goes on the wall, so as home decor. Where do you plan to display these photographs or this photograph? Then connect their answers to your expertise. Let's say that your client has decided that the image will be displayed over the fireplace. So when you are creating that image, and or when you're planning for creating that image, you could say, "That's exactly why I think your backyard is ideal for your family portrait, because it creates the kind of warm, inviting feeling that's going to look perfect over your fireplace." Now, of course, you're changing that to match whatever it is you guys are talking about. That's just one scenario. It's about the professional's perspective. Remember, you're not just taking pictures. You're preserving memories, creating heirlooms, you're helping to build confidence, you're telling stories, you're conveying personalities, you're making art. So when clients understand this, they stop seeing you as someone with a nice camera and start seeing you as someone who creates lasting value. I want you to have a growth mindset. Every nice camera comment is an opportunity to build a stronger client relationship, to demonstrate your value, to create a more educated market, to turn a one time client into a lifetime client. Here's maybe the best part: when you educate with enthusiasm, clients not only understand your value, they become advocates for it. They're the ones who will tell their friends something like, you know what? Anyone can take a picture. But what Jim creates is something completely different. Wouldn't you want people saying that behind your back? They do, as a result of you making that possible. It's not just happening on its own. Because at the end of the day, we're not just selling photographs, we're selling expertise, experience, and results. We're selling emotion, and that's something no camera can deliver. By the way, that's what we're talking about next week, is what it is you're actually selling and how what you think you're selling is holding you back. I'll talk about that in just a moment. We are almost done. What is the closing thoughts? And then I'll share the upcoming show titles. So do me a favor, take a moment and put in the comments one takeaway from today's lesson. Or take a moment to share appreciation. If you want to say thanks, Jim, well, I appreciate that too. Here's the closing thoughts. You now have got everything you need to turn that nice camera comment into a business opportunity. Remember, every time someone compliments your gear, they're actually trying to compliment you, your work. They just don't know how to express it yet. And that's okay, because now you know exactly how to help them understand the real value that you provide. So take these strategies, make them your own, and use them to build stronger client relationships and, just by default, a more profitable business. Because at the end of the day, it's not about defending your pricing. It's not about explaining your equipment. It's about helping clients understand that they are investing in expertise, vision, and results that no camera by itself could ever deliver. And the next time someone compliments your camera, just smile and think, sure, I bet Shakespeare had a magical quill. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go compliment my chef on her spectacular spatula. I hope you've enjoyed this, you guys. I've had a lot of fun with it. I want to share with you what the upcoming titles are going to be for the Portrait Profit Show for the next 3 or 4, no, probably 5 weeks. So let's go over that. As you know, the Portrait Profit Show is something that happens every Monday, pretty much no matter what. Yes, even today, MLK Day and Inauguration Day, we're still here doing the show. And I'm so glad that you're here with me. But here are some of the upcoming. Next week, 1 week from today, and let me put this on the screen. On January 27th, we're talking about the hidden truth. I alluded to this just a little while ago, but let me tell you a little bit about this and hopefully get you so interested that you put this on your schedule for noon a week from today. Your photography business is about selling images. However, that is exactly why you are struggling. In reality, you are in the emotion business, and your marketing message needs this profound shift to truly connect with your ideal clients. So join me to discover the hidden psychology that top earning portrait photographers use to build their thriving businesses, even in saturated markets. That thought of saturated markets after this show will become a thing of your past. It won't matter anymore. It won't affect you. It will affect some because they didn't show up. But you, saturated markets will be something you won't even bother talking about except in in history that I used to be bothered by this kind of thing. Next, we're going to start the new month in February. Can you believe that? January has gone so fast. February 3rd at noon, battling invisible competitors. This is something that we touched on today, but I'm going to go into quite a bit of detail because clients are vanishing into thin air because they're choosing options that some of you didn't even know existed. So join me as I rip off the mask of your real competition. And let me give you a bit of a spoiler. That photographer who you think is getting some of your clients, they are the least of your worries. And by the way, I've got a bonus for this one. For those of you who watch this particular show, I have something that I call the photographer's ghost buster checklist because we've all been ghosted. I'm going to help you not eliminate, but reduce it. All those who are watching it live, and actually those who watch the replay also, but it'll be a little bit more difficult to get it to them. All those who are watching live are going to get this though. Then on the second Monday of each month, we move the time to 6:30 in the evening to accommodate our panelists, just to make it easy for them to be there because it's difficult to get people to show up at noon, and so we make it at 6:30 in the evening. It's the only one we do that we change the time for, the second Monday of each month. So that's February 10th at 6:30. We're doing a panel discussion. And I'll share with you one more. On February 17th at noon, we're going to be talking about the anti-salesperson's club. Photographers who hate sales unite. The anti-salesperson club has started, but there's a problem. You aren't qualified to join. You're an artist, a creative who wants others to enjoy their work. You're already a salesperson. Let me give you a bit of a warning on this one. This show may cause an unexpected burst of business confidence. So if you don't want that, you might not want to show up to this show. This show may cause an unexpected burst of business confidence and the strange urge to stop being the best kept secret in town. I want you to add these free business lessons to your calendar. It's every single Monday. Do it now before you forget. I want to thank you, Lens Legends. And for those of you who don't know, that's what I call you guys. You are Lens Legends. And thank you for being here, for joining me today. I encourage you to like and share the Portrait Prophet Show. And of course, tune into our next live stream 1 week from today at noon. I want you to know, I want you to be sure in this, that your potential is limitless. You've got this. You've got what it takes. Quit looking at others thinking, I don't have what they have. You have what it takes. You might not see it, and that's why I exist, to help you see it. And all you have to do is reach out to me to let me know that you want to see it. I hope today's lesson has given you new ideas, some fun additions, and strategies to strengthen your business and by default, your life. I look forward to seeing you next week. For Landers Photography School and Digital Pro Lab, my name is Jim Landers, and I am bringing you the weekly Portrait Profit Show. So until I see you next week, Lens Legends, keep thriving, keep growing, and keep making your long lasting mark in the world. I look forward to watching you grow. You guys rock. Bye for now.